Welcome back to Parking Lot Takes. I'm Brandon. That's Christian.
And Cobra Kai might be over, but Karate Kid Legends has just gotten started.
Absolutely. That's right. Have you watched Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
I have not.
It has a cult following.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
A lot of people really liked it. I think like early on it was kind of like, this is fine. And then it like picked up traction as like seasons went on.
Yeah.
I love the Karate Kid movies, but I never like picked it up for any reason. But
yeah.
Did you like it?
Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just fine?
I didn't like it near as much as I feel like most people did.
Yeah.
I was like really bogged down. I'm like, this is so corny and cheesy.
Man.
But
that's what scared me about it.
Ben Wong, this is Ben Wong's era. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I don't think what they're gonna do.
I don't think it anymore.
What did you ever seen the? Did you see the Jaden Smith one?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I like that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Thank
great.
you.
It's great.
I
Like, it's
remember
fun.
watching that and being like, that was awesome. And then everyone in my circle, like, that sucked. That movie's terrible. And I think purely that was nostalgia rose glasses. Like, no, they absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
They absolutely destroyed the original Karate Kid. Absolutely butchered it. It's Kung Fu. It's whatever. It's Jaden Smith. We want to hate on him just to hate on him.
Yeah.
But Karate Kid Legends kind of makes it not a reboot.
True. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, and then it gets to be its own thing.
Yeah. No, it's fun. Jaden does a good job.
Exactly.
Honestly.
He does the splits.
Yeah,
he learned how to do the splits. It's crazy.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah. I mean, he has some good little emotional moments. No, that one's fine. I mean, I don't think it's as good as like the first Karate Kid or maybe even 2. I don't know if it's as good as the first trilogy, but it's still a fun movie. Like it has some good moments and has some heart that like the originals do.
Yeah.
Jaden does good. And it's Jackie Chan, dude. Jackie Chan. Come on, man. I need to say something.
Okay, say it.
We got to do some housekeeping here. Okay.
What? Housekeeping?
Jeremy Allen White, I love you. I think you're a fantastic actor.
Listen to him.
I think you're a great actor.
Terrible.
I love The Bear. I think you're a good-looking guy. I just want to say,
you specifically
I just
that.
really wanted to just come out here and say that. I think there is, I'm not going to go back into that, but I just wanted to get that out there. I love you. Let's be friends. Let's grab coffee. He's a good-looking man. I mean, he's does The Bear. He's done some cool stuff. I think he's great.
The walk back on that is insane. Do you feel gross?
No.
I think you should. I think you should feel a little gross.
No, I don't feel gross.
You said 2 completely different things.
I never said I thought he was ugly. I said he wasn't conventionally attractive.
And that hurt my feelings.
Apparently. Clearly, because you came to his aid and defense very, very quickly. I just said that I
see that pin. Wherever it is.
There are conventionally attractive people and unconventionally attractive people.
Yeah, maybe.
And I thought he fell into the unconventionally attractive, but that's just me. What does that say?
It's 4-1. We're gonna keep a tally. We're gonna keep a tally. You can't even see it. I'm getting a whiteboard. I've already ordered it, and it'll be the tally of us being wrong. How many times we've been wrong?
How many times we've been wrong?
You're up right now, by the way.
Okay.
4-1.
Refresh, complete, fresh start when we get the whiteboard.
No, we're picking up at 4-1.
No.
We don't have to accrue from 4-1.
Jeremy Allen White does not count.
Why not?
Because
You're walking
that's
it back
subjective.
right
It's subjective.
now.
It's subjective.
You just changed your mind.
But it's all subjective. So
You
it's
don't
not an
think you were
objective,
wrong
factually right
before?
or wrong.
I don't understand how that works.
I'm just trying to soften the fact that I think I came across more harsh than I would have liked to.
Okay.
Hey, man, it's okay to do that, man. It's okay to admit things that, hey, I came across
were wrong
a little differently.
about.
No, I'm not saying
You
I was
said
wrong.
it wrong. You didn't say it in the way that
I came
conveyed how you
across-
feel. So you said it incorrectly.
I said it in a manner that may not have been
Do
appropriate.
you want a freaking coffee?
I do want a coffee.
Okay.
I need a freaking coffee. I'm a little cranky, apparently.
I'll put it in our order.
I'm excited for the Bear. Yeah, can you put in my usual?
Yep,
Put in the
that's
usual.
It's in.
Let's go. Yeah, I just need to get that off my chest. I've been thinking about it since we talked about it, and
I guess I've
I
been
feel
a day
horrible.
oneer. I'm a day oneer of Jeremy Allen White. I think he's very good looking. My wife thinks he's good looking in your face.
Is that in my face or is that in your face?
I think
that might be in your face.
No, I don't. Because if you start a marriage off, not off, but if lying's a consistent thing for the other person's feelings, I mean, this goes in a dark place.
Yeah, you need to be able to admit when you would leave someone for a famous celebrity.
That's not what she said.
You got to be able to do that. That is what she said.
That is not what she said. You're putting that on me. And you should stop. You think very highly of yourself. You're like, I'm a catch. Jeremy Allen White. Alan White is not, apparently.
I never said that.
See, I think this is my hot take. Jeremy Allen White in the kitchen cooking for you, your pants are hitting the floor.
I'm not going to argue against that. Okay.
All right. So
that man whips me up some good grub in that white t-shirt. Yeah.
You're having more than just sausage tortellini. Well,
He's giving me sausage tortellini.
Good night. All right.
Hey, man, look, it's subjective.
Are you an andouille guy?
Am I a what?
Andouille sausage.
Or
like a Kanaka.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had Kanaka. I've had andouille.
What are you from? Where are you from?
What did you say?
Kaneka.
Kaneka?
Yes.
Excuse me for mispronouncing
You've
that.
definitely had Kaneka. You've probably, if there's one you haven't had it's probably andouille. You don't know.
What is the definition of andouille? I know I'm thinking of like, I've had andouille crab on like a steak.
Okay. Then we're, the Global Grill steak?
Yes.
Okay. You've had andouille sausage.
Let's
shout out Global Grill.
Shout out. Fantastic.
Favorite meal I've ever eaten in my life, which is the blackened New York strip with andouille crab.
I got it because of you.
Yeah.
You had mentioned it, and it was incredible.
It's the best meal I've ever eaten in my life.
Really?
Hands down.
You think that's the best?
I think.
Wow.
It's the best meal. $50 or 67?
It's like, yeah.
That's what's up.
That's true. For that price,
I think it's the best
quality
meal, as in like start to finish meal.
Yeah.
The potatoes, the veggies, the steak.
It's all good, yeah.
It's all really good. I think maybe you could source individually things that are on that plate that might be better.
Mm-hmm.
But all together package, and they're the only place that does it.
Yeah.
So, love to film an episode there.
That'd be crazy.
I will clip it out. I will tag them. We'll see what
absolutely.
All right.
Anyway.
So, some new news.
Yeah.
It's Global Grill is a restaurant where we live.
By the way, yes. People are going to go searching for it.
Is Aaron Taylor Johnson, dang it, missed his name. Is Aaron Taylor Johnson the next James Bond?
He might be.
He might be. Do you know why he might be?
I think I do.
Okay, the watch thing?
Yes.
Yes, so he's the new ambassador for Omega Watches.
And apparently...
which is the James Bond watch.
Yes.
And Daniel Craig was an ambassador before him?
Yes.
Is it directly predating him?
So Daniel Craig became a brand ambassador for Omega before it was announced that he was James Bond.
Oh, he's so James Bond.
So that's why people are speculating so much. So I
love it.
He became the brand ambassador, and then not that long after was announced as James Bond.
He's gonna do so good.
You think this confirms it? I mean, I think that's crazy.
I know.
Crazy
I know he's been in.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna crush it.
I feel like at this point, if it was someone else, people would just be disappointed. Like, there's so much.
It's gonna be like. Here's what's so genius about that casting. It's gonna be so different. It's gonna feel drastically different from Daniel Craig, and you're gonna need that to try and dissociate a little bit. I think he's perfect.
I think he's gonna be great.
I think he's gonna do a really good job.
Bullet Train.
Very different. But it's not like James. Oh, that's James Bond.
Appearance. Nice suit. Clean cut. Well, he's got a little bit of a beard in that one, but I just think like he can do suave. He can do cool. Maybe Bullet Train isn't a good comparison. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen him in. I think he's going to do a good job if he is. He's younger. I wonder if he's younger than Daniel Craig when Daniel Craig started. Because didn't he start in his like 40s?
Maybe.
I think he started in his like, or maybe like early 40s and ended in his like 50s or 60s. Maybe like late 50s. So I think he's younger, so he'll have a little bit more.
Yeah. He's in Tenet. I give him it in Tenet. He's British in Tenet.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
That's kind of the big, other than, this isn't really news.
Yeah.
But, sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say it's kind of a crazy coincidence. Like, it's
totally
almost
a thing.
Not a coincidence.
Bond,
it has to be that he's Bond.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Who would you have rather had if not him?
I really liked the Idris Elba casting.
I was gonna say Idris
Now,
Elba.
I think Idris Elba's a little too old for it though.
I think he's a little too old, and I think he has too much of a presence.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
Yeah,
everybody.
I think pretty tall. Like
he's really tall, and I think his voice is so well known that I think everybody would just see Idris Elba. They wouldn't see James Bond. Like Daniel Craig was able to embody James Bond. You kind of lost Daniel Craig and just saw James Bond. And I think Aaron Taylor Johnson, while he's been in some really cool projects, I think if he's James Bond, we'll see him as James Bond. We won't see him anymore as Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's probably more popular at this point in his career than Daniel Craig was, though. Hands down.
Yes,
like
easily.
He's been in a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh, and coming up too, 28 years later. Mm-hmm. That's right.
You're a wuss. All right.
We'll see once you watch the originals what you think.
Yeah, but the reasons Cody gave us on why it was scary didn't really make me feel like I was going to like walk out sick to my stomach or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't pitch it as like
it's terrifying.
This is so jarring and terrifying and like, we'll turn your stomach. It was more just like it's depressing.
Yeah.
Which depressing doesn't scare me. No, it does. Anyway, go ahead with your national.
So I rewatched Brave New World. So Captain America Brave New World came to streaming this week and I watched it. Or last week. Sorry. Captain America Brave New World came to streaming 2 weeks ago as of this.
Yeah.
So I rewatched it. And I definitely liked it more than I did the first screening. I was not near as hard on it. Ooh.
Great. We can stop talking about Captain America.
Okay, this one's yours.
Yay.
And this one's Brandon's.
Okay.
I haven't tried the caramel yet. So
Is this the homemade caramel?
it is.
Oh, this is incredible.
Next time, don't talk.
I'll do it if I want.
Okay.
That's so funny. Oh yeah, delicious.
Okay.
Great job.
I rewatched it.
And it's better though.
It's definitely better.
How much better? Like
Not
significantly
drastically.
better?
Not drastically.
Okay.
I saw a few people say like how much better it is on rewatch. I think they're right. But here's the thing. I think it's a streaming movie. I think it should have gone direct to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I think that is its niche. Like, if you put it in that context.
It's received a lot better, maybe. Yeah.
And I still have a lot of the same complaints. I thought Sam on rewatch drastically better. Like, I didn't think he was bad, and I thought he was like a 7 out of 10. I'm like, more like, 9 out of 10 is Cap.
That's cool.
Coming out of the movie. Yeah. I thought there were just moments I noticed more this time around that I just didn't really give much weight when the first screening,
he, like,
specifically
shines.
The speech he gives to Harrison Ford when he confronts him.
Oh, in the bunker?
Not in the bunker, on the ship.
Yeah.
So he confronts him and he's like, what are the pills for? And he's basically like, you've got to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard. He has this great speech there. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't really pick up on it because of the first time around. It was so frustrating as a viewer because it was so obvious to the audience what the pills were. So to spend almost 20 minutes of the movie based around this mystery of what these pills are when we know we're getting Red Hulk. I just, but I was able to maybe more compartmentalize that. If I don't really know that, a lot of this works a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
you can probably focus on some of the better moments more and not like rolling your eyes at the fact that they're trying to do this, but I already know it's coming.
I'm not as critical as Danny Ramirez.
Really?
Although some of his jokes are terrible.
Yeah.
They are so stupid.
Some of them are delivered awful.
I can't stand it. And it's more like, okay, this is probably written bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Because initially I was like, the performance is bad. And I think
we know he can do a good job in The Last of Us.
Yeah, I think at times it's not great. But specifically, a lot of the old jokes I just didn't like. I just don't care for. Those are definitely written to be a specific way.
Yeah.
On top of that, the line delivery for some of the Sam and him stuff, I think, is better. Like him and Sam, I think
the chemistry's a little better.
It feels a little bit.
What
better.
about the ending scene? How do you feel about the kind of ending dialogue between them?
Still cringy.
Still cringy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a little bit, because I don't know how to feel in that moment, because he's like, I failed, like da 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 da, I got shot out of the sky, you know, and that when he's in the hospital, and Sam's like, I always have to be on point. Yeah. It's not very comforting, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like, if I'm not on point, if I don't show up,
I die.
Or
something.
People are going to be like, want my seat at the table.
Yeah.
You know, and to want to take me out of it. And it just wasn't, I felt like I just don't know what that scene was trying to do, I guess. Yeah. Is Sam trying to prove a point to Joaquin? The guy whose next line is, I want to be you. I look up to you. Yeah. Like, I don't know why you're saying that to him and what he conveyed, you know, whatever. So yeah, that for sure. But it's still, I mean, oh my gosh, it reinforces. So I really feel like you implement this one thing, movie, drastically fixed. This one concept, I think it would greater tie into the rest. So like Captain America Brave New World would just tie into the overall MCU better. It would make a lot of the story mystery elements work a little bit more if you do this one thing. That leads to other things. But if you really dive into how involved the leader was with Ross's career, and I've said this before, but it just really reinforced it. I cannot believe they did not make it so the leader was behind Ross's introduction of the Sokovia Accords. Yeah. Blows me away, because how interesting would it be to have that revealed that was completely a political move and not at all anything that he actually thought was good. Yeah. But he saw it, and the leader was like, you need to implement this. This is going to fracture the Avengers, put the U.S. in a fractured state of panic where they're going to elect you. Like, it was like Ross was, like, if Ross and the leader were behind this manufactured chaos of the United States and literally did all of this stuff, just like, that makes Ross way more evil.
Yeah, absolutely.
And makes, I think, a lot of the story more interesting. Yeah. The leader more interesting, and ties into the previous setup stuff a lot better. Yeah. And it sets up Thunderbolts in a way too. Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I just cannot believe they didn't do Ross being behind Weapon X. I think that would be so sick. I just really wish they had done that.
Perfect introduction.
Like, why does he want adamantium? Because he's got General Stryker heading up a project with the leader creating.
Where we're experimenting on.
So
that'd
cool.
be so sick.
And a cool way to introduce mutants, but honestly, I think
we don't write for Marvel.
I think it's worth the rewatch, man. Be honest.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because I have not wanted to. I mean, I know it's on streaming.
I had drastically more fun. Like, I mean, gosh, I have a lot of the same complaints. They just weren't as impactful, you know, because I've already seen them. But yeah, like, yes. Does Sam use the shield in a way that Cap never did? Absolutely. And that makes no sense, because Cap can only do that because of, do you know the super soldier serum makes you really smart?
I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah. So Cap is like able to do calculation, like comics.
Yeah.
He's able to do like calculations, and that's why he can bounce the shield off like that. So Sam or John being able to do it doesn't make like a ton of sense.
Well, Cap taught him. I'm just kidding. That doesn't.
But it's whatever if they want to use it. But like, it's so much more exaggerated than how Steve ever used it, which is, I mean,
that's a problem.
If you go watch it, almost never does Steve throw the shield and it knock 2 or 3 guys down and it come back to him. That thing never happens. It almost. How many times he throws that shield, it bounces, and he goes and like picks it up,
or he's kicked it.
Yeah,
and, like,
picks it up because it doesn't actually like make it. You know, mainly the one where the not the missiles is bad, but because he's flying at Mach 1,
throws it in front of him.
But
Oh, that's
Mainly when they're getting arrested and the music plays on their walkie and they're like, run, and he throws it and hits the 3 cards. And
yes.
like that was too much.
Yeah, it's
You know what I also thought is he's flying at Mach 1 on that fighter jet and he's like anchored into it and he's got the shield and he's raising it up. I'm like, reality is you go like you would be like
Yeah.
not because I don't his like suit's not mechanical or anything.
Not at all.
It's just a suit and then he's got the wings. So it like he would be like, oh my
struggling.
gosh.
Yeah,
There's no way he would be able to lift that shield up at Mach 1 and bring it
back down.
But yeah,
That's funny.
I rewatched it. I actually do think it's worth a rewatch. I think because it just solidifies Sam. I think Sam's good Captain America. You know, and I think this time around, just being able to kind of put aside some of the things I didn't like. It just was, I like Sam.
Does it raise your rating of it?
No, I would sit firm at 6 out of 10.
Okay. You don't think it deserves a 7?
I can't, no.
Still can't give it. I'll have to rewatch
Just
it.
how it's just so shot out of order.
Yeah, it feels
And
choppy.
the dialogue's bad. The music is bad. Speaking of bad music, Karate Kid Legends. But I feel like some of the music choices are on par. Not all of it. I think Legends is worse. But some of the like cut in music moments in Brave New World remind me of Legends.
I'm trying to remember some of the moments. Yeah, Legends is pretty rough though.
But
the new Benson Boone song. Moonbeam, my
what's the controversy with him right now? Why is the world flipped on him?
I don't know. I guess because the song is just like, I don't know. Do people think he's just like an industry plant or something like that?
He was just hating on him.
Yeah, he makes a catchy song and they're like...
He was like the talk of the town. Everyone loved him and now it's complete flip.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You grab your crotch one time at the Grammys and everyone just gets in a hissy
I'm not saying I would never do it.
Oh wait, was that the Oscars?
Wait.
You grab your crotch one time at an award show and everyone has a hissy fit about it. He's wearing a tight unitard, man.
It's probably a little uncomfy. We'll be sure not to do that.
There's glitter. I'm sure it's abrasive.
I'm sure it is. My man's chafing for sure.
Chafing up a storm. You got to adjust. He did a front flip off of a piano. He's allowed to adjust his junk
on live television in front of millions of people. Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
I'm just saying, if you go pull the camera footage, I don't think a lot of people were offended in the moment.
No.
You know what I mean? It was kind of like after
you weren't
everyone after the fact. Everyone's like, "Yeah, that was weird."
You're right. I didn't like when he did
everybody dried up. You know, they're like fanning their spot like on their shorts, and they're like, "That was kind of inappropriate."
You're right. It was.
Yeah.
As they just adjusted.
Yeah,
them.
they're like, "What the heck? What the heck?
What the heck?"
All right, let's review Karate Kid Legends.
Let's review Karate Kid Legends. All right, should we start with the rating?
Probably.
Let's start with the rating and then positive and negative. All right.
There's negatives? All right. This is our scores of Karate Kid Legends.
Let's do that again.
Why?
I was not ready for that for any reason.
Why? I mean...
Oh, I guess, you do that. All right. You want me to give you my score?
Yeah.
6 out of 10.
Okay.
What do you have?
What's wrong with you? I'm just kidding. I'm giving it a 7. I'm staying at 7.
Okay. I was going to be shocked if you were going to give it like an 8.
No, I stick at 7. I think it deserves maybe a 6, but my enjoyment is so up there.
In the moment, the enjoyment is really fun.
Yeah.
But after the fact, looking back on it, it gets a lot worse.
And I
probably when I first came out, I was at a 7. I thought about it a lot, and I
had that same thing happen, and then I saw it again with you, and was like, no, I just have too much fun. It's too fun. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's a blast.
It definitely has fun moments. Here's what I was thinking kind of while I was watching it. It feels like they had the idea for a Karate Kid sequel, and they thought, this is an existing IP. It's Karate Kid. Everybody's going to love it. We don't have to really do a good story as long as we have some humor and some good chemistry between the characters. And they just kind of delivered this. And it's not like the most thought out.
I completely disagree with you.
Really? Why?
I think the initial intent for Karate Kid Legends was for it to be a Cobra Kai spinoff show.
Yeah. That could make sense.
Look at the structure of this movie. There's literally a mid-season finale and then a season finale. Like,
True.
There's
two movies in here.
There's an overarching subplot and then a main story in the first half and then a continued story afterward that is concluding the overarching subplot. Literally the same structure of a show. Yeah. So I think probably they wrote it to be a Netflix series and adjusted from there.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense, especially with how how Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan's characters come in. Because you think like you start in Beijing and then you do a few episodes without them and then they come in later. Right?
Come in, yeah.
So I think probably it was written out,
Yeah,
storyboarded as a show, and they never adjusted.
Yeah.
That being said, it doesn't validate that that's still a bad decision for like a movie because you end up having kind of two stories.
And it feels very much that way. Like these two very separate things, and then you wrap up one, and then you start another one, essentially. Obviously, you've established the characters, and that's fine, but you pick up a whole nother kind of plot line. You're right. There's like the moments of the subplot with like the tournament and things like that, but it does feel a little not choppy. It's just not smooth all the way through. It's not the most cohesive.
I would say, I like not choppy, but like story abrupt stop, and then a few steps backwards, and then starts.
Then it picks back up.
So yeah.
So some of the good things.
All right, can I go first?
Go for it.
Ben Wong is awesome.
Ben Wong is good.
Ben Wong is so freaking awesome.
Yeah, he's really
I am blown away. He has I know he has some martial arts training, but I watched it the first time and was like,
this kid's crazy.
This guy's so good at martial arts, and really it's not him. But I think
he sells it.
Think to me when I was really looking, it's the posing and it's the in-between shot moments, how he conveys momentum was something I picked up on, because you have these obvious moments, because I know now that he's not, proficiently trained like a Jackie. I thought he was like Jackie Chan.
Yes,
I was like,
doing his own stunts and choreography.
And the second time around, I was really watching him, like, he just does such a good job carrying in this motion from the stunt actor.
That's cool.
I think I'm giving a little too much praise in for this movie. Like, I think it's like such a B summer movie.
Yeah.
But it's so fun, and I think Ben Wong,
some fun moments,
Ben Wong is so darn likable.
He has a lot of charisma.
So up there, and you just root for him out the gate.
Yeah.
Like
all of his interactions early on, I will say, with the main actress who kind of plays like the love interest. He's like suave in like a quirky, nerdy way, and you're kind of like, I like this kid. Like he's just got something about him, and he carries it through, and he does a great job. So I do think he's definitely a standout of the movie. I'm trying to think of some other things. Jackie Chan's great. Ralph Macchio's great.
You think so?
You think he's not so great?
I think he feels kind of corny, even in Cobra Kai. Like, I think
maybe what
I think he's the worst actor in the movie main cast.
He's a little wooden.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, for example, comparing him to the dad. Like, the dad does a lot better job.
I know. That's my
the
thought.
girl does a lot better job. Like, yeah. Just thinking of another just like male actor, similar age. Yeah, he does a good job. The writing between Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio is really good. The writing for their characters is good because they have a lot of chemistry. It's funny how they play off each other, and some of the fighting, like teaching scenes, is really good. So maybe I'm thinking a little bit more like to that. I think they do well together. Individually, Jackie Chan does a good job. He's just so subtle and so fun.
So when I really like, did you finish your point?
No, you're good. Yeah, that's it.
When I really look, it's almost just like if you watch Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, that Jackie Chan character and the Jackie Chan character in Karate Kid Legends is drastically different. It's adapted
absolutely.
for, I believe that they're the same person, but it is a different, like,
he's way more comedic.
exactly.
And funny
He's,
in this.
natural,
It's-
whatever,
yeah.
just way more personable.
Does that not bother you though in some way?
No, because he was like a drunk and whatever, he was, or not drunk, but he was like going through a hard time.
Yeah.
So I think we're
seeing him
like
more
15
healed.
years removed, and he's doing something he absolutely adores and loves.
Fulfilled, yeah.
And I think it's a good change, but I don't think they ever did that with Ralph Macchio.
No.
I think his instruction was like, all right, you're playing older yourself. Be you from Karate Kid 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's what I think he did in Legends. But like when post-credit scene, we won't do spoilers for this, but
Yeah.
post-credit scene,
True.
really good. But I think
But I think that's what works about Cobra Kai,
Exactly.
from my understanding.
Exactly.
I've seen like a few episodes of season 1, but from what I hear, what works is the post-credit
Yeah.
scene. So, makes sense.
yeah. It was just some of the. Let me say this line.
Yeah.
In karate, more upright. I don't know that, like, those. I just didn't feel. I mean, one,
I think we're thinking the
he's
same thing.
acting beside Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan just killing it. So
Crushing it,
maybe
yeah.
it's like the contrast of the two.
Yeah.
Whereas Ralph Macchio is like, he's delivering this very like, in karate. He's got to say it like that. For some reason.
Karate.
We stand more
Karate.
upright, more towards our opponent.
Karate.
Whereas Jackie Chan, like, it's like literally delivered like that, and Jackie's like, no, more natural, more subtle. Like he brings such a naturalistic, like, just
Yes. It
feels so.
He embodies the role.
Yes, feels so natural.
Yeah.
Whereas
Ralph is a
it
little
does
wooden.
feel like Ralph Macchio is reading lines.
A little forced, yeah. I would say...
Like I don't think he would say those words like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's more, like
Think-
forced and yeah.
Think about the moments, though, like, here's where I will say, I think individually, it's not as good. When they're together, it's a little noticeable, but less noticeable. For example, when Jackie Chan has those kind of, like, one-on-one moments with, like, Ben Wong, it feels very natural. When Ralph Macchio, like, for example, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a moment where he's sitting on a
One
sidewalk.
tree, one tree, two branches.
Feels very different than Jackie Chan's emotional
Yeah.
moments. Like, if I was just kind of parallel them.
Right, but that's good. I think that's better though. That would be an example of him doing a good job.
I think
And maybe it's the instructing. Like it's when the instructing's going
is just
on.
weird.
And maybe-
especially because Jackie Chan is also being, I think, a little bit more comedic than him. Like, Jackie Chan is like, he's so good. He just like flows naturally, like into the teaching, comedic, serious moment. It's all just very like fluid. Whereas Ralph feels like he's just kind of like instructing and it's wooden. And then he says a funny line, and then it's back to being karate. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, is the nuance of it's impossible to learn karate in 1 week. You haven't met the student, and then they cut, and like Li Fong or Ben Wong does like 2 moves, and Jackie's like, whoa, like hold on, we're done. Like, that's it, you're good. And then, I love that. Yeah, it's a very. I use this word a lot. It's a very nuanced performance from Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And Ralph Macchio's just isn't.
Yeah. I will say a lot of the instruction scenes where they're going back and forth, like the scene where they're just kicking Ben Wong's butt, like, you know what I mean, like flipping him around and stuff. So funny, like it works. I love the chemistry between the two of them in like 2 or 3 different scenes.
What happened to one tree, 2 branches? One branch is stronger than the other. Jackie Chan is so
great.
funny. Is Jackie Chan Chinese Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Is Jackie
Absolutely.
Chan Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Especially in his 90s career. He was doing everything Tom Cruise is
Absolutely.
doing now in his 90s.
Jackie Chan
in the 90s.
is the previous generation's Tom Cruise.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you go back and watch
They're
some
not
of his.
similar ages, are they?
They
might.
They're
They
close.
might be.
No
I don't know
way,
what I'm
that's
saying.
true. Jackie Chan's probably in his late 60s, early 70s. Tom Cruise is 62.
He's only 10 years older than Tom Cruise.
Dang.
What's a generation? 10 years?
20, right?
Yeah.
20 would be 20 would be a generation, right? I guess I'm thinking father to son.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll stick with Jackie
Close
Chan.
enough. Yeah, I
Jackie
think so.
Chan is the Chinese
Tom Cruise was doing good stuff in the 90s.
Or do we want to say...
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah. Or do we want to
Tom
say...
Cruise was doing Top Gun.
No, let's put it... But not as like this action star.
No, you're right.
So that's more...
He didn't get into the stunty stuff until the 2000s.
Jackie Chan is the action star before Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Okay. We'll put it like that.
Yeah. I mean, think of all of his, think of Rush Hour. I mean, all the choreography, all the stunts that he does in that are incredible. And that's just Rush Hour. That's not thinking, even some of his, Chinese films and, other stuff he's done in the 90s and early 2000s. He's done a lot. So, that's such a good point. Yeah, he is. Love me some Jackie Chan.
Oh, yeah. I want a Jackie Chan Tom Cruise movie.
Be great. They fight each other.
Like some sort of buddy cop situation. Well, I guess they've done Rush Hour, but something.
I would not want to see Tom Cruise in a buddy cop movie.
I think it'd be funny.
I don't know if Tom Cruise could do it.
What?
It would have to depend. It would depend on how comedic it was. I don't know. That's a random niche point, but man, they're only 10 years apart. That's crazy.
I watched an interview where Ben Wong was with the Corridor Crew guys, and he was talking about filming, and it was so cool how much Jackie or Mr. Chan influenced that movie in terms of he's just always trying to make something better.
Yeah.
I don't think Jackie Chan has ever just collected a paycheck in his life. I think he's every time been like, all right, what can we do? How can we adapt it? I don't think he's ever shown up and been like, I'm just here to get my paycheck and say my lines and leave.
Yeah.
I think he's absolutely just hearing him, storytelling. He's so knowledgeable storytelling wise. So specifically, they were filming the scene. One of the first things they ever shot was when Li Fong walks into the apartment and the pots are moving.
Yeah.
So initially, the director just shot the open window, and Jackie then comes out, and Jackie Chan and his team were like, "That's not enough. That doesn't create enough suspicion.
Yes,
let's move the pots." And how are we going to move the pots? And he said that Ben Wong said that Jackie and his team took fishing line and tape and did it themselves and moved the pots for the shot.
Yeah.
And I don't
know.
That's cool. This is cool. He's a cool guy.
Thinking through nuanced ways. The way I feel like I can always tell that he's not just collecting a paycheck in his movies is while he does the fun action, every time it becomes a serious moment, it's he locks in. Mm-hmm. You can tell he's really intentionally not just delivering lines, he's trying to convey the emotion through his voice or his facial expressions. And in this one, all of his scenes with Ben Wong, where it is emotional and he's talking about family, he's talking about, these more serious moments, it's really noticeable. And he kind of forces you to lock in. He pulls you in and you're paying attention. So I think he does really care, not just about the action and choreography, but the more emotional story beats too. And even this movie, it's a B movie popcorn flick. You still see that kind of shine with him, which is really cool. Villain sucks.
Whatever.
Not to say that all the villains in the originals are the greatest written villains ever, but it does bother me.
That doesn't bother me at all.
It bothers me just because I feel why you can't write something more interesting. He barely has any lines. The dojo itself is not interesting. It's just out there as the bad boys on the block, and that's it. And I just would love to see something different. Or just more chemistry between is it Connor? I think it's Connor and what's Ben Wong? Lu Fang? Yeah. Just more chemistry there.
But it's not.
They have 2 interactions.
But in the other movies, it's I'm proving myself because of a situation that person has put me into. Mm-hmm. It's more when I think about it. I think Connor's the big bad, but he's not. What I think is interesting about this and I think it is different, is because it's not about Li Fong. Li Fong's doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not doing it for himself. He's not trying to prove something. No, like initially. Right. I think obviously he's there proving something to himself. It's about, you know, Jackie Chan has some lines about, well, it's not just about fighting. It's about he needs this. And,
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
and obviously there's that. But the motivation is I'm just entering. It's if Connor wasn't in the movie at all and that was some other random guy, and Connor never hit him, never was mean to him ever, he still would have entered the 5 boroughs. So that's why it doesn't necessarily bother me. Whereas in any other instance, in any of the movies, the first movies, if Johnny Lawrence does not pick on Daniel LaRusso, the movie doesn't have, like, Danny or Ralph Macchio doesn't learn karate. Or same with Jaden.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so that's how I thought about it. And so to me, he's the villain, as in he has to fight him and they try to make him unlikable. I think personally, I would have rather seen him be like a nice guy.
That's way more interesting.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think if you're going to put him in the movie as a villain, though, you have a duty to serve the character, like,
sure,
well enough to be a villain. Like, by the time we get to the last fight in the first Karate Kid with Johnny, like, I'm ready to see him just, like, kick his butt, like, just wipe the floor with him.
You weren't ready to see that with Connor?
No, I could care
That's
less.
Crazy. I was ready for him.
I wasn't. Like, I just didn't care. Like, he's unlikable, and I was like, I don't like this kid, but I didn't feel that, like, passion of, like, gosh, I just despise this Johnny character. Like, I'm ready for him to just get it, like, laid into. I didn't feel that personally. Oh, I did. And so I just felt like Connor was just, like, a very super underwhelming. Especially compared to, maybe I shouldn't. I hold the first, like, Karate Kid movies very highly. And I think Johnny's, like, a really good villain in the first one.
Let's be real. This is probably the worst Karate Kid movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the next Karate Kid.
Maybe better than 3?
Maybe better than 3. No, I don't think it is.
I think it is. I think it's better than 3.
It's definitely not better than 1 and 2. It's not better than the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. No. Man, I don't know about 3. I don't think it is. It might be.
I don't think it is. But I do think the last fight is fantastic in Karate Kid 3.
Yeah.
The final match where he's just hitting him with illegal points, and he gets a point, he gets deducted, and they're just putting him through this suffering to make him quit, and he doesn't quit. So good.
So great, yeah.
I really like Ben Wong.
Ben Wong is great.
I think he's so good, and I want to see him in more stuff, and I want him to consider, like, being in more, if they want to do more Karate Kid stuff, I would like to see him again. But I don't think they will. I don't know, but when going back to the villain, you're not wrong. It just didn't bother me because I did feel like he was a jerk, and I thought, you know, this is a bad guy. I'm not supposed to like him. I know that going in. It's a Karate Kid movie. I'm trying to think.
They don't give him enough.
This is my one point. I don't even think this is a point. There is a part of me that if we spent so much time with him, I would just feel like, oh, this is just another Johnny. This is just another, this is just another Johnny. They're just rehashing it. And I don't feel that way. Whether because it's underdeveloped or not, which I feel like I like. I just like that it doesn't feel like it's like just a redone version of Johnny Lawrence. And the Will Smith Karate Kid movie is exactly that.
Yeah.
So to me, but I'm gonna go back to just the basic structure of the story. That is that he enters the tournament not for himself, not because it's Connor, not because it's this other dojo. He's not trying to prove anything to anyone. Yeah. It's about saving, making this money and helping this person. Shop, yeah. So
yeah, you're right on that point. It is less about building the villain.
And the adversary is more so Li Fong to himself than it is
losing because of the mistakes he feels like he made.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting way too deep on this, but it's, to me, those are the reasons it doesn't bother me. But you're not wrong. Like they could do more, but to this point, I don't think I'd rather see anything subtracted to give it more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we could just get more time, sure. But I try to think, like, if the movie has to keep its runtime, what would you pull from? I like all the lived-in moments, even though it's weird and it's structured bad. Like, I still think the first half of this movie training the dad to fight, use kung fu to like better himself in boxing is cool and fun. Yeah. And then even though it's completely different shift, the stuff leading up to the tournament is too short. Yeah. But he already knows kung fu.
Yeah. So you don't need to.
The only thing that bothered me was that it was like, okay, we have 10 days. We're going to show you 2 days and then we're going to count down to 0. We're going to just make it 3 days. Or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you want to go on to the bracket?
Yeah, we can do that. It is a fun time, though.
I had fun. I
don't really ever want to watch it again, but it's fun.
I'll put it like this. I saw some... I think if you like Cobra Kai, you're going to have a blast with this. I was saying that when I watched it the first time. I watched some big avid Cobra Kai people dog on it.
Really?
And it shocks me because I do feel like it is the same amount of cheese, even less.
Wow.
Because the fighting's good.
Yeah.
Like, go watch Cobra Kai and you're like, wow, Ben Wong is awesome because he doesn't really have he has a theater dance background.
Yeah.
And he's drastically just better.
Just better at it, yeah. If you want to see more Ben Wong, I think you can watch on Disney Plus American Chinese. There's a show that he's in. It's actually pretty fun. There's some martial arts in that too, actually, which is cool. Yeah, that's
Alrighty. So this is a Marvel DC character bracket fight.
Marvel versus DC.
So this is who wins in a fight. Mm-hmm. What the heck? What the heck?
What was that?
What was that? I don't know who just called.
How long do you think we're going to use that on the podcast until it just gets... I think we're going to be doing it all year.
I saw my second viewing of that Monday.
Oh, yeah? What'd you think on a second view?
I laughed way harder than I did the
I think
first
I would,
time.
too. I mean, I told you after I said, I think on a second watch, this movie's probably better than
Friendship, the second time around, felt like watching I Think You Should Leave multiple times. I think You Should Leave just gets funnier.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, just funnier. And that's how Friendship was.
I need to watch it. There's so much out, but I want to see it again.
Also, I saw it with one of my best friends, Leighton. Mm-hmm. And we kill each other. We laugh all the time. Listening to him laugh was half the fun. Yeah. Listening to him just be like, just hurting from laughter was so fun. All right, Marvel DC bracket fight. So this is going to be some Marvel DC characters in a bracket, and this is who wins in the fight. Who wins in the fight? This isn't like who's a better character or whatever. This is in a 1v1. Who's going to win?
All right. Let's do this.
Number 1, we got Ant-Man versus Captain America, Steve Rogers. So Scott Lang versus Steve Rogers.
Harder than I thought it was going to be.
I know.
Because
Ant-Man should be able to win.
Yeah.
Up the butt.
He can go right up that sphincter and then...
Or through the urethra like they did in The Boys.
I hope... Let's... No.
We don't know what Steve's sex life is like.
You think he wants Lang to get up in there?
I don't... If Scott is like saying America, maybe...
For America, up the urethra.
Yikes. I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to do this. I think we end the episode.
All right. What do you think?
Scott's abilities are what throws me. Like if he enlarges, if he gets really big, frick me.
So wait, Scott can go up Steve's urethra, but if he gets big enough,
Cap can go up his bunghole.
Yeah, I know. So it's a two-way playing streak here.
So Scott gets too big, Cap wins.
I'll put it like this.
Scott's just the right size. then he would.
Scott seems to get winded a lot.
True.
I think
Using his powers does affect him.
I think Steve could keep the endurance up to a point where he's too tired.
Couldn't Scott just squash him?
I don't think he could.
Scott just steps on him.
I don't think he can.
You don't think he can get big enough? I'm thinking of a civil war.
I know.
But they never really fight when he's that big.
I think
Scott could catch him.
Black Panther was able to avoid him, so I would assume Steve could.
If they're the same size, Steve wins hands down, clearly. But if Steve could hold out long enough, we're spending way too much time on this.
Could Steve throw the shield and hurt his technology? Is that even a word thing to talk about?
If he's smart enough,
which he is. We just said that Steve would be.
Yeah. He could throw it at his crotch, get him.
It's almost like Batman with prep time. If Steve can make a plan, I think he could win.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give it to Cap.
Okay. I feel like I'm split, so I just kind of want to.
Let's give it to Cap.
All right, the age-old Tom Holland Spider-Man versus Anthony Mackie. This is Falcon, but we can think of them as they currently are. Spider-Man versus Cap again, if you want to do that. Anthony Mackie. So I'm just saying we can think of him as with the shield,
not as Falcon,
as the present versions of themselves.
Spider-Man versus Cap. Doesn't Spider-Man win that? He webs him up.
I agree.
I mean, he's also got super strength and keen senses. I think he wins.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man wins that. Dang, that feels controversial for Spider-Man to beat Captain America. But if it's Anthony Mackie's Captain America,
I think he can do it.
I think he does it pretty easily.
I think he technically could also probably beat Cap now.
Cap's strong enough to probably break the webbing, though.
I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking Cap might struggle in a fist fight against Green Goblin. So I think Green Goblin...
It'd be comparable.
Huh?
It would be comparable.
I know.
It'd be like
So if you want to go to
Spider-Man,
Tom
it'd be the same.
Body's, Green Goblin at the end of No Way Home. If Aunt May's just died, I'm giving it to Tom.
If we add some emotional points in there, yeah, maybe. Man, yeah, that's tricky.
Martian Manhunter versus War Machine Rhodey. Martian
Manhunter wins that all day long.
Easy. Gamora versus Superman. Superman.
Gamora. Oh.
Shut up.
Superman.
Beast Boy versus Cyborg.
Oh, that's fun. Little Teen Titans action. I think Cyborg wins that. I think Cyborg is smart enough and has the ability to create enough technology to probably suppress whatever beast he can come up with.
We're going to spend a long time on this.
All right, let's keep moving quick then.
No. This
next one. I see what you mean.
Batman versus The Flash.
All right, does Batman have prep time?
Yeah, we're going to say so.
Batman wins.
I'm going to agree with that.
No.
Only because I think
know.
The Flash would win if we don't vote him out now. I think the only person who can beat The Flash is Batman. And I think we should just vote him out now and just give Batman prep time.
That's probably smart. You don't think Superman can beat Flash?
No, not at all.
I know they're not as fast, but I think he stands the best chance.
No.
Why? I know he's not as fast, but why would he not stand as much of a chance?
Barry can run at the speed of light.
So does that just make Barry unbeatable?
Exactly. That's why I'm saying I want to vote him out now because we'll give him prep. Batman's the only one with prep time that could do it. So let's just have him lose to Batman with prep time. No prep time. Flash is winning.
That's fine. I just struggle with the Flash being like the most powerful character in the DC universe.
He 100% is. Maybe Bat might.
I mean, I know there's like cosmic characters that would probably beat him as far as just like. I would love to hear a good argument for like who could beat Flash, like from like a really big comic book fan or something like that. But anyway, let's move on. That's interesting. But if it's like, man, maybe. You're right.
Drax versus Captain Marvel. Brie Larson.
Captain Marvel wins that.
Okay.
I think her abilities.
I forgot. I just like him more. I forgot it was a fight.
Yeah, it's a fight.
Dang. Natasha versus Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, Chadwick.
Well, he's dead. So she's fighting a corpse. I told you we're taking them as they are now.
You're an awful person.
That's the rules we set up.
No, we can't say that.
But I don't. We gotta follow the rules. We need rules.
That one, we can change the rules
We
for
need
Chadwick
rules.
Boseman.
We can't break the
He is our
rules.
Black Panther.
We need the rules.
I will break the rules for Chadwick Boseman.
No.
We don't have
Shuri's our Black Panther.
No. Well, then we're gonna say Shuri and not say Chadwick.
She
Boseman.
might be on here. You don't know.
Frick me.
dead.
Then we have to adjust it for that.
You're missing a very powerful argument. Let's see if you can think of it in what we've already argued. Because if we were doing current, we talked about Scott Lang and Steve Rogers way too long because Steve Rogers would be old.
Oh, that's true.
Just kidding. All right, so we're gonna do we'll do Chadwick Boseman
As Black Panther.
I know.
Rest in peace.
Oh, look at this. We already had this. Steve versus Spider-Man.
Ooh, yeah, we say
He's
Spider-Man.
old, so Spider-Man's gonna absolutely
Spider-Man's gonna
destroy him. I think Spider-Man now through the MCU could probably beat Cap.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It feels so wrong to say that. I feel like people would give us so much hate for that. I don't know why. I'm not thinking of a great argument, but I just feel like people would be like, "No way,
He's too
Cap's
experienced
stronger."
now, man. He's fought too many people.
I think it's just abilities outweigh it too.
Well, now he's got too much. You know, he like before then he had only caught cars, saved people out of trees, stopped low level burglars. Now he's fought aliens. He's fought. I mean, all the Spider-Man villains at once.
He's fought other superhuman, like Cap level superhumans.
I don't think
too,
there's
so.
any way Cap could fight Sandman and the Lizard and Electro. Oh, Cap can't fight Electro, can he? He might. I don't know.
He could probably hold his own.
Martian Manhunter versus Superman in a fight. Superman
wins.
Cyborg versus Batman. You gotta think Batman. Like, even if we didn't get Batman prep time,
Yeah,
I'm
I
willing
think
to
it's gonna
bet
be Batman.
Batman already has a contingency.
So again, you have to give Batman prep time though, because without prep time, I think Cyborg beats him.
Here's the
based
thing.
on abilities, just based on
When
his
you say
abilities.
prep time, I guess I'm saying in the moment, in the moment they start fighting out of nowhere. I would assume, even if Batman doesn't have like all the time in the world to prepare for the fight,
He has
he's
enough
already
time to-
thought of how to beat him. And so he could find that answer before he dies.
Yes.
That's what I always think. So I think it's Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not thinking like he's in the cave coming up with a
Yeah.
plan to...
I think he's already thought about Cyborg as an adversary. And so he's going to...
He would have a contingency, yeah. It's just tricky. I think if it's abilities, yeah, but I think we give Batman.
Captain Marvel versus Black Panther. It's got to be Captain Marvel, right? I mean,
I think so. I mean, she's one of the most powerful like people in the universe. Only thing I'm thinking through is that vibranium suit.
there's no way. Doesn't matter. I don't even think if he hit her with the vibranium, like anything it would do.
Well, I'm just thinking. No, I'm thinking the opposite of. He'd be able to like withstand her being in the vibranium suit, like her powers. I think he'd still get rocked, but like the vibranium suit would protect him from her abilities.
Maybe.
So he might be able to hold his own.
No, he can't get a punch on her. She could wrap her arms around him and just hold him still. And I've got a way to
Yeah, that's a
prove
great
that.
point, yeah.
Sam used the vibranium suit in Brave New World against the Red Hulk, and they absolutely did something to the Red Hulk, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Thanos punched the lights out of Hulk,
Yeah.
When he punched Captain Marvel, she didn't even move.
Yeah. So that goes to her. Yeah, that makes sense.
Spider-Man versus Superman.
Superman wins that. Hands down.
Sorry, Tom. But
Sorry,
we do
Tom.
love Bureau. We are Bureau stans.
Bureau stands. Tom's going to get vaporized.
All right. This is interesting. Batman versus Captain Marvel. Does Captain Marvel have any weaknesses?
No.
How... You would have to give him prep time in this scenario.
Yeah, because she would just vaporize him.
Not right away, but...
Yeah. What would her... Yeah, I don't know what weaknesses she would have. She genuinely is one of the most powerful people in the, like, Marvel Universe.
His best bet has to be something like get Rogue from the X-Men. Like what they did in X-Men, the animated series.
But that's not him. That's bringing in help. So in a one-on-one, they're just in an arena together. I think Captain Marvel beats Batman. Sure. I mean, again, it's the argument of, like, if he has prep time, he can beat Superman, right? Like, if he has prep time, like, I'm sure she has a weakness. I just don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
Is it Captain Marvel? Do we give it to Captain Marvel? I think
Batman with prep time.
Batman with prep time. Batman wins this bracket if we give him prep time.
All right. We're not super... Well, dang. Superman versus Batman. Let's be honest.
I'm thinking that's an easy one for Batman.
Yeah,
just because I know
no way
kryptonite.
he doesn't carry kryptonite on him at all times.
In the DC world, yeah. I mean, he has to. Because a Kryptonian is going to be one of the biggest
think
threats to
Batman
Earth.
always walks out the door with that contingency plan ready.
Because Superman, if at any point Superman goes rogue, he's the number one threat to the planet. So he has to come out with kryptonite. So, like, yeah, Batman wins. I mean, he did in Batman v Superman. So
I feel like it's a random feeling. If it was Zod, I would probably give it to Zod. Because Zod would take a cheap shot.
he would be too unpredictable.
Yeah. Whereas, like, part of the armor around the Batman v Superman is that Batman knows Superman just won't come out and hit him out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I guess when I think in that scenario, I think Superman's turned completely. That's how I kind of I think of it because there's comics where that happens, like where Superman is just fully turned, does not care, willing to kill,
Here's the
and
thing.
just goes off.
Superman should win, but Batman's never lost. So.
So it's Batman.
Aquaman versus Iron Man.
Ooh. Oh,
In a
that's
fight.
fun. Oh, that's fun.
In a fight where?
Under the sea. It might be Aquaman. Just in sheer strength. Because he's going to be able to withstand Iron Man's lasers, missiles, guns, all of that. And I think in a one-on-one, Aquaman's going to overpower Iron Man. Now, Iron Man can fly away. But if they're going into like a hand-to-hand, I think Aquaman beats him.
I don't know what to even say. I agree with everything.
I'm just thinking him throwing that trident at Iron Man, like he's gonna freaking get wrecked.
He can't dodge a trident.
He could, but I'm saying like he lands that. I mean, Aquaman's gonna throw that at a freaking 200 mile an hour fastball. I think it's Aquaman.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Aquaman. Ballsy take, maybe. I don't know.
I don't feel that passionately about it either way.
Yeah.
Peter Quill or Thor? Thor? Bye, Peter. Sorry.
Is it Fat Thor?
Oh, man. That's not fair. Vision versus Damian Wayne.
Yeah, that's Vision, hands down. Vision is also one of those powerful people in the Marvel Universe.
I don't know who this is.
Let me see. Dang. I don't know who that is.
We're going to put forward Jeremy Renner. Because I don't know who it is.
Hawkeye wins that battle. Hands down. Who is that? I'm trying to think.
No idea.
It's a DC character?
All right. The Hulk versus the Scarlet Witch. We've already had that fight. All she has to do is get in his head.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch wins that. Easily.
Ooh. Bucky Barnes or Rocket Raccoon.
Ooh. Does Rocket have prep time?
I think Rocket's scrappy enough already. Like, I think he could scrounge it together.
Yeah, he probably could in the battle. So I want to think based on abilities, Bucky, but I think Rocket could outsmart Bucky. So I'm going to give it to Rocket.
Let's do Rocket.
Rocket. Love me.
Wonder Woman or Doctor Strange? Wonder Woman. I think it's easy.
Doctor Strange has like multi-dimensional abilities. He can turn back time. It's Doctor Strange easy.
A demigod.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
Like, she basically has like all the superhuman abilities that like Superman would in a way without like the laser vision and flight, sustained flight. But like, who's to stop him from just sending her to another dimension? Like, I think that's Doctor Strange.
Green Lantern versus Groot.
Green
Lantern.
Yeah, Green Lantern was that easy.
Aquaman versus Thor.
Oh, that's fun. Is it Thor?
I think so.
Calls down lightning and fries him up like a fish, right?
I feel like if you put Aquaman and he had to experience the full force of a star, he would die.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Vision versus Jeremy Renner.
Vision. Yeah. That's easy. Sorry, Jeremy. You're smart.
Wanda versus Rocket. Wanda. Doctor Strange or Green Lantern.
I think it's Doctor Strange.
By hell. Thor versus Vision.
Vision.
Really?
I think so.
No.
I mean, Vision, I think, on paper is more powerful than Thor. He's, like, practically invulnerable. Well, no, he's not. He's made of vibranium.
I know, but
He's made of vibranium. He has flight. He can phase through things. And he's, like, got super strength. Like, I think he beats Thor. I think the one thing Thor has going for him could be like calling lightning from Mjolnir. I don't know how much that would affect him.
There's no feats in the movies that I could like compare to prove one or the other.
Do you think Mjolnir would be strong enough to like penetrate through like Vision's?
I'm thinking Stormbreaker.
Oh,
I'm not convinced
Stormbreaker to the skull, dude.
Stormbreaker couldn't break Cap's shield.
Because it's made from what? What is it?
I don't know what it's made out of,
It's
but
made from the
Mjolnir can't break Cap's shield. But
then Stormbreaker can't.
Why?
Because I think it's the same, different weapon, similar power scaling, I think.
It's more powerful than Mjolnir, for sure.
But I don't think it's so, like, drastically more powerful. It's more powerful in some of its abilities, like being able to call the Bifrost, things like that. Him throwing it, it's just a bigger weapon. I think it calls more lightning. I think it does a little bit more, it packs more of a punch, but I don't know if it's enough to, like, break the shield.
But Thanos' sword and his kids' swords break Cap's shield.
That's a good point. Then I think Stormbreaker could.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually.
We'll go Thor.
Or is that supposed to be like Thanos is just like sheer strength with like the gauntlet?
No.
They never really established anything like that. It's just
No.
It's just brute,
It's
brute strength.
It's Thanos without stones.
Oh, you're right, because that's in the.
And the children stab Division through the chest.
Yeah.
Wanda versus.
No, that's because he phases. Doesn't he phase and then it?
He just gets stabbed.
That's actually interesting because isn't he? He's made from vibranium. So what are their weapons made out of?
Vibranium, though. It's like.
That's like what they harvest it for, though.
I know, but it's like it's still a human body with tissue, though. Like
But if your living tissue is vibranium,
I don't
then it
know to
should be
the
impenetrable.
extent that it is, though. I just don't know because
I never really thought through that.
because they use like the flesh printing thing to make the body.
But it's like they say that like it's like vibranium is like woven into it. Like
Yeah, and there's gaps when you weave in stuff.
yeah, but like
I know, but
if it's a tight enough weave to be skin or you know,
I just don't think that
equivalent,
means
like,
he
I don't
can't
think-
feel it. Like like
Well, I'm not saying. Well, I'm saying like if Panther's suit's impenetrable and the shield's quote unquote unbreakable, I know it's not.
Still different.
Then like how would they be able to pierce his skin? Because wouldn't it be the same thing as Black Panther's?
He doesn't.
It would be the
phase.
same thing as Black Panther's suit because it's threaded.
He doesn't phase.
Yeah, I'm taking that out. I'm
Well,
saying
it's
just
also
like
nanotech.
if it's just like a direct like penetration.
All right, I think it's still Thor.
I've just never thought through the fact that like he's technically vibranium, but like they puncture is like him.
Wanda versus Doctor Strange.
It's Wanda, right? It's a pretty equal matchup, but I think
Yep.
Wanda wins. She's more powerful.
Wanda versus Thor.
Wanda.
That easy, huh?
I think so.
You don't think Thor?
No.
No.
I really don't think there's like I mean
It just bothers me that it's
Thor is very strong. Mjolnir even elevates that.
strong without those things. So
Absolutely. That's why I'm just saying Mjolnir only elevates him to be a stronger character, but I think Wanda's
trying to
definitely
think
more
of
powerful.
feats. Well, I guess she almost kills Thanos and he struggles. So Wanda versus Batman.
Wanda.
That easy for you? Huh?
Because of the mind-bending abilities, I think. Like, I don't know if prep time matters. Because the moment she gets into his head, it's over. That would probably be the thing to bring down Batman. Is if something can get into his mind to nullify prep time.
I think prep time does matter. Because the first thing I think I would do
Is a blocker.
Well, it doesn't really matter about that. I don't think he could come up with anything that would be able to stop her. Is I would go get Billy. And I'd hold a battering to Billy's throat.
Batman just goes full dark mode.
I think you're right. I think Wanda's going to beat Batman in a one-on-one without prep time or whatever. But
I think that might be the one thing to beat Batman with prep time is somehow affecting his mind. So yeah, I think Wanda wins it.
yeah, I feel like he could maybe figure it out with prep time. But if he just runs across her and they fight, I think he's reliving his worst nightmares for sure.
Yeah. And that's going to be rough for him. I'm going to give it to Wanda, yeah.
Well, does the helmet that like Magneto wears stop Wanda?
Yes. It stops Jean Grey with telepathic abilities. I don't know if is that equivalent to what Wanda's able to do with the mind? I don't know if that's considered like telepathy technically. Magneto's helmet does stop Professor X and Jean Grey from getting into his head. So that could work.
Yep. It does block Scarlet Witch.
So
Batman could I think he would figure that out.
He would figure that out. And there's hands down a DC equivalent to that, I would assume. So if something like that exists, then it's Batman.
If it's not in the cowl already, like
if he knew Wanda existed,
yeah, I bet you it'd be.
Especially because he would have, like, if this is a lived-in Batman, he probably would have battled Brainiac with the Justice League. He probably would have dealt with characters that have to do with like mind abilities. Well, if something like that exists, then it's Batman. That's crazy that we talk down every scenario that Batman wins.
Batman without prep time, undefeated. It still happens.
All right, Batman. What's next?
I do think Barry. It doesn't. I think Barry's the only one that could probably beat Batman without prep time. Because Barry can run into the past. Like, Barry could just jack up the entire world running into the past and win.
Yeah. Batman could set up a trap or do something, and he would just go back in time instantly.
Or he can go back to when he was a kid, save his parents from dying. He has no reason to become the Bat. Like, there's.
Or go back when he was a kid and do the old.
Yeah.
Not the Flash would do that.
I think that's a little far. But
I'm joking.
I don't think it's funny to joke about that, though.
What do you mean?
Pedophilia?
No.
What?
Killing him as a baby.
Oh.
That's not what I was. That's not at all where I was. You know the old like.
Know what you think about?
The old go back in time and kill the villain before he's ever, you know.
I know.
Anyway,
I'm gaslighting you.
don't do that, man. That's not okay.
You're big into
Too far.
pedos.
You should stop. You should stop saying that. Cut that.
Have you seen that the audio where it's the Reverse Flash talking to Barry?
No, I don't think so. I might have.
He's like, I've been there ever since you were born. I was there for your first kiss, and I, at super speed, made you jolly your britches. You've never heard. You never.
No.
I'm being very
cavalier about it.
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to show.
That's
that.
what I thought you were referencing.
No, not
I was
at
like-
all.
No, I'm kidding.
That's
I know what you were talking about.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Jolly your britches is a wild way to say that.
My bad. Real quick, this is coming out. This will be Monday.
Yeah.
We'll have seen and reviewed Ballerina before this. What do you think about Ballerina?
I thought it was fantastic.
You thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to walk that back on Friday when it comes out.
Yeah, I don't. Oh man, yeah, I probably should have said that.
You think Ana
You know what?
de
Here's what I'll
Armas
say.
is fantastic.
I think she does a really great job. I think overall it's like got some good action. You know, is it the best John Wick that we've gotten? No. Keanu Reeves is good in it, though. He's really great.
Make a point saying that it's not
That it's not what?
the best John Wick. How do you know? Like, what's your reasoning?
So I think I can't do it. I think I probably enjoyed the experience, but I don't think it's probably the greatest thing ever.
I think it's a movie with action and guns and fighting and female lead.
You just described what it is.
Yeah, it's a movie. I think it's over an hour and 30 minutes. I think that
Really?
that's the Terran. They use the Terran tactical Glock in the shot. Is what's on the poster.
That's cool. That is a cool point. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think it's not her character from James Bond.
No, you're right.
I think she's a ballerina.
I think she is.
Nice.
I think she kills a lot of people too.
You do? Watch her not kill a
That'd be
single
hilarious.
person.
That would be so funny if her whole mantra is she doesn't
I
kill
don't
people.
kill. Anyway, we haven't seen it yet. We're seeing it Friday, but this will be out after it's out.
Yeah.
Either way, we're on social media. Please follow us on
Yes.
all the social media. We have a Discord.
TikTok.
We are officially all loaded in on Spotify.
Yes,
And
if you
I've
want the audio.
got that down. So the audio only listeners, thank you for.
Yeah, because we've had some people say like, "Hey, we need some audio. That's what we like to listen
Yeah,
to."
let me apologize to the Spotify people real quick. I am
We've been lacking
so
on that.
sorry. I could not figure it out because I just couldn't find a good way to do it. I've got it locked in now. It's so easy. I'll get
good.
I mean, it's so simple. So I am so sorry that I haven't been on top of it. So, but
We're caught
everything is for the most part in there now.
Yeah. Last
so-
episode's up, so
Yeah, and this will be up on Monday. So,
sweet.
all right.
Anything
Well,
else?
have a great rest
Have
of
a
your
great
week.
We'll see you.
We enjoy. Go see How to Train Your Dragon this week.
Yeah, I'm so pumped.
I hope it's good.
Oh, I really hope it's good. It needed to be good.
Yeah.
Especially, not that I've seen it, but you probably more so after seeing Lilo and Stitch. I need a good live action remake.
After really thinking about Lilo and Stitch after a week, yeah, it's still bad.
Rough.
Yeah.
And it's
Either
getting
way.
a lot of hate.
I hate that it's a success and it's making so much money.
so much money.
Makes me so upset.
Yeah, it does. How to Train Your Dragon, though. That's going to be the one that really brings us out of the slump of these remakes.
Yeah.
Please, please, please.
I'm surprised. Have they? I don't think they've released or lifted the review embargo yet.
I don't think so. I haven't seen any out of theater reviews yet, though. Out of theater reviews. I don't know how many early screenings they've been showing for creators. Like, for example, I was seeing Ballerina out of theater one just a couple days before it's coming out, technically. So I haven't seen anything for How to Train Your Dragon yet. So we might still be in that like range of early screenings. So we'll see. Technically, when this comes out, though, we might be a little early for that, but we'll see. Anyway, maybe. I'm excited for it, though. Go see it. We'll be reviewing it. More content on the way.
Heck yeah.